day everyone. So welcome to our group vlog presentation. So I hope you will listen carefully and watch to our discussion. So I am the one who will tackle about eye-hand coordination. So before anything else, I would like to introduce myself. So hello, my name is Nina Di Concepcion from BS Ed English 2A. So I will now start. In our most creative activities and endeavors, we integrate eye-hand coordination as we inhibit our usual body functioning. So eye-hand coordination, or also known as the hand-eye coordination, is the coordinated control of our eye movement with hand movement and processing of visual input with the use of proprioception of hands to guide the eyes. So this can be observed in diverse activities like movements of objects, handwriting, catching a ball, sports, performance, music, reading, computer gaming, typing, and others. So eye-hand coordination, therefore, is the ability to cooperate through our eye or visual information received to guide, control, and direct with our hands to accomplish the given task. So it is the ability to do activities that require simultaneous use of our hands and eyes. So also, the hand-eye coordination is important for the child development and academic success. So we use our eyes to direct attention to a stimulus and help the brain understand where the body is located in space, or the self-perception. And we use our hands to simultaneously carry out a determined task that is based on visual information that our eyes receive. So these are the examples of eye-hand coordination. First is in writing. So when making a line, the eye sends visual information to our brain to tell where the hand is placed and if handwriting is legible. So there is a cooperation between our eyes and brain so that we can write well with the use of our hands. Second is typing on a keyboard. So we use visual information here to tell the brain how to guide the hand or if a mistake needs to be corrected. Third is when driving. So in driving, we use visual information to help the hands move on the wheel, keeping the car in the middle of the lane and for us to avoid accident. And lastly is in sports. So in any sports, the eyes usually coordinate with the movement of some parts of the body called the motor coordination. Also, it depends on what sport it is. Like in basketball and tennis, it requires the hand-eye coordination, while in soccer, track, and etc., it uses the foot-eye coordination. So that's the end for my topic, and thank you for listening.
Hi everyone, I'm Marham Abdul Wahid, and now I'll be discussing the 7 habits of highly creative people. So without further ado, let's get started. So these 7 highly creative people is an homage to Stephen Covey on October 24, 1932 to July 16, 2012. So make a habit of these 7 practice, and this will be highly creative in your field. So first is prepare the ground. In creating the only hard things, to begin, a grass blade's no easier to make than an oak. James Russell Lowell. So in this prepare the ground, creativity requires an absorbed mind, a relaxed state of focus, and attention. Give yourself the time and space you need to get completely absorbed in the zone of creativity. And inspiration. Let the desire to create come from the pure pleasure of creative expression. If you worry about being perfect, you may never begin. So the second is plant seeds for creativity. What we think, all that we are arise with our thought, we create the world, the Buddha. So in this plant the seed for creativity, we simply we amplify. We amplify what we think about most. Put your attention on what you want to create, not on a compliant set an intention to produce the results of the results you desire. So the next is live in the question. Be patient towards all that is unsolved in your heart, and try to love the question themselves. Rainer Maria Rilke. So in this live in the question is, it's been said that at the age of 5, children ask 120 questions a day. At the age of 6, they ask only 60 questions a day. At the age of 40, adults ask 4 questions a day, and then we adults need embrace beginner's mind and ask questions instead of trying to find immediate answers. Pay attention to question other people ask, especially those artists, scientists, and thought leaders. Collect questions you find compelling. So the next is feed your brain. If you stuff yourself full of poems, essays, plays, stories, novels, films, comic strip, magazines, music, you automatically explode every morning like old people. I have never had a dry spell in my life, mainly because I feed myself well, to the point of bursting. Ray Bradbury. So in this feed your brain, be curious and follow your nose. Get interested in something and it will later provide you with a gold mine of ideas if you learn to make a connection between people, places, and things that would not ordinarily be connected. Combining ideas and making connections are key practices of creativity employed by artists, designers, and scientists. So the next is experiment and explore. I make more mistakes than anyone else I know, and sooner or later I will patient most of them. So Thomas Edison. So Edison was a both prolific inventor and innovator, producing over 1,093 patent. He was also a master of learning from failed experiments. When he died in 1931, he left 3,500 notebooks containing details of his ideas and thoughts. And if you follow your curiosity, experiment with ideas, learn from your mistake, and the quality of your creativity will vastly improve. Okay. So the next is replenish your creativity stock. As artists, we must learn to be self-nourishing. Julia Cameron. Joni Mitchell described her replenishing process as field of rotations. When she needs a break, she switches from singing and songwriting. So, for the last is the secret of liberating your creativity. While there is the music, ballet that will liberate your creativity. It can be helpful to remember how you played as a child, what absorbed you to the extent that you lost track of time. Your child's play provides the clue to your creativity, your talent, and passions. What connection can you make from lessons you have learned at play that you can apply at your work? So, these 7 highly habits, creative of people, it takes so many forms in business, arts, education, science. We express our creativity in these domains. we have the ability to make life and work a work of art. So this article by Linda Neyman was published in Hopeful Sign in June 2011. So that's all, guys.
Hello guys, for today's video, I'm going to share with you the hand-eye coordination development stages. So without further ado, let me introduce myself first. I am Miss Deborah C. Apostle from BSED English 2A. So let's get started. Hand-eye coordination development milestones are as follows. Between birth and 3 years. First, between birth and 3 years of age, infants can accomplish the following skills and can. First, start to develop vision that allows them to follow slowly moving objects with their eyes. Second, begin to develop basic hand-eye skills such as reaching, dropping objects, feeding, and dressing. Third is begin to recognize concepts of place and direction, such as up, down, and forth. Develop the ability to manipulate objects with fine motor skills. Between 3 and 5 years of age, little children can continue to develop hand-eye coordination skills and a preference for left or right-handedness. Second, continue to understand and use concepts of place and direction such as up, down, under, and beside. Third is develop the ability to climb, balance, run, gallop, jump, push, and pull, and take stairs one at a time. Fourth is develop eye, hand, body coordination, eye tearing, and depth perception. 5 to 7 years. Children between 5 and 7 years old can first improve fine motor skills such as handling, writing tools, using scissors, and etc. Second, continue to develop climbing, balancing, running, galloping, and jumping abilities. Third is continue to improve hand-eye coordination and handedness preference. And fourth, learn to focus vision on schoolwork 4 hours every day. And that's all, guys. Hoping you understand our lesson. And thanks for watching!
Hello everyone, I am Manu Rods Moline, and for today's video, let's talk about art and creative literacy. But wait, do you have an idea what is this all about? Well, let's find it. So when we talk about art and creative literacy, it says that it is a process of having original ideas that have, a value. So moreover, creativity is the ability to see the world in ways. So art infused education is a compelling way to help children learn, and research shows that using art across the curriculum increases student engagement. Because art builds 21st century readiness and develops the forces. The first one is the creativity, critical thinking, communication skills, and to be followed by collaboration skills. So creativity is the act of turning new and imaginative ideas into reality. Because creativity is characterized by the ability to perceive a world in new ways, to find hidden patterns, to make connections between seemingly unrelated phenomena, and to generate solutions for that. And creativity in making something involves two processes. First is what we call our thinking, and to be followed by producing. So it's either you will do the step-by-step procedure of that thing, or start doing what you want. So if you have an ideas but don't act on them, then you are imaginative but not creative, because creativity is the combinatorial force. So it is our ability to tap into our inner pool of resources, knowledge, insight, and information, as well as inspiration and all the fragments populating our minds. So the ability to create new combinations from existing resources is a powerful force for creativity and innovation. So by recombining ideas, materials, and practices, new and potentially unknown possibilities can be emerged. In addition, the ability to generate creative and innovative ideas is not merely a function of the mind, but also a function of 5 key behaviors that optimize discovery. So, yeah, these 5 are: first, associating or drawing connections between questions, problems, or ideas from unrelated fields. Number 2, posting queries that challenge common wisdom. 3, observing the behavior of others to identify the new ways. And number 4, we have meeting people with different ideas and perspectives. And last but not the least, we have the number 5, constructing interactive experience and provoking responses to see what insight emerge. So after all, creativity and innovation skills help you come up with new ideas and approaches, both at work and outside work. They help you think about things differently than in the past, and they help you change things for the better. So people who are creative and innovative have curious mind.
Hi, this is Ayati Parba from GSCD English 2A. Sorry for the background noise. So, today I'm gonna talk about the problems or disorders of poor eye-hand coordination. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, hi. So, for you, do you have any ideas what for eye-hand coordination? So let's find it. So eye-hand coordination, also referred to as hand-eye coordination, is the visual processing of information to guide hand movements and eye-hand coordination is necessary to a variety of daily routine activities, from picking up a book to knitting a scarf. Poor eye-hand coordination accompanies many syndromes and conditions, such as autism, a spectrum disorder, cerebral palsy, decreased muscle tone, and a certain visual disorders, like optic ataxia. Many children with level of mental delays also demonstrate poor eye-hand coordination. So, what are some symptoms of poor eye-hand coordination? So, poor eye-hand coordination often presents itself as an avoidance to refusal to the participate in many ordinary daily activities. Children with poor eye-hand coordination, for example, typically have difficulty learning handwriting skills such as legibility and handwriting efficiency, and therefore abstains from writing activities other like skills, dressing, take care of one's personal hygiene, or playing with small objects like blocks, action figures, or dolls, may be limited to be avoided altogether, since eye-hand coordination is not necessary. For many sports, athletic pursuits can be often be neglected completely. It is important to note that the child's success in or efficiency with playing computer or video games does not necessarily demonstrate or appropriate eye-hand coordination skills, although these games do. So, some coordination between eye-hand movements and eye-hand movements, the coordination is limited and unnatural. and thus not representative of a healthy hand-eye association. So that's all. So I hope you listen, and I hope you gain knowledge about the disorders and problem about a poor eye hand coordination. So that's all for today's. Thank you, and thank you for listening.
Hi, good day. So now I'm going to discuss visual literacy and verbal creativity. Let me first discuss to you the visual literacy. So, in the advent of internet, students must develop the necessary visual literacy to navigate the image-intense world. Therefore, visual literacy refers to interpreting and creating visual images, and usually about communication and interaction. Visual literacy is the ability to read, write, and create visual images. It is a concept that relates to art and design and has much wider applications. It is about language, communication, and interaction. Visual media is a linguistic tool with which we communicate, exchange ideas, and navigate our highly visual digital world. So, visual literacy derived from the word visual, which means image or picture, and the word literacy itself means the ability to read and write. We all know that because ma'am already tackled it before. So, visual literacy in simple words means reading and writing images. The term was first coined in 1969 by John Debs, who was the founder of the International Visual Literacy Association. Debates that explains visual literacy refers to a group of vision competencies of human being that can develop by seeing, having an integration or other sensory experiences. And according to Oxford Research Encyclopedia, visual literacy is the ability to interpret, negotiate, and make meaning from information presented in the form of image, extending the meaning of literacy, which commonly signifies interpretation of a written or printed text. It is therefore based on the idea that pictures can be read and the meaning can be taught on a process of reading. And also, according to Serafini on 2017, he asserted that visual literacy is a set of visual competencies or cognitive skills and strategies that one needs to make sense of visual images. These visual competencies were seen as universal cognitive abilities that were used for understanding and visual images regardless of the context of production, reception, and dissemination. More contemporary definitions stress that visual literacy is a contextualized social practice as much as an individualized is a cognitively based set of competencies. It is also a process of generating meaning, interaction with multimodal ensembles that include written text, visual images, and designs elements from the variety. In addition of visual literacy, literacy can be integrated across disciplines. Culture visual literacy now incorporates socio-cultural, semiotic, and multimodal perspectives to understand the meaning that has potential of visual and verbal enables and encountered in social environments. So, Visual literacy involves closely visual text across range of text types. For instances, textbooks, pictures, picture books, art, advertisements, posters, comics, and many more. So, by integrating visual literacy into classrooms, we help students learn to collaborate and to discuss a wide range of ideas while experiencing their own. In this way, visual skills improves their writing proficiency and critical thinking skills. So now we are going to discuss verbal creativity. In the view of rapidly increasing complexity of the world, creativity is more important now than ever before, and is even considered as useful and effective response to evolutionary changes, since it allows the individual to flexibly respond to the continuously changing conditions around. Okay, so creativity is important as for the development of fully functioning mentally health, well-educated, and vocationally successful individual. It is because of growing recognition of the importance of creative functioning, and there is sufficient evidence of universality of creativity. So, according to Scott, he cited that creativity-related skills can be improved by providing specific rules, techniques, or strategies to develop appropriate cognitive skills for the domain at hand. This could be realized through creative ideation, training, or divergent thinking exercises, which aim at stimulating effective search, retrieval, and integration or combination of remote associations related to a given stimulus world. Divergent thinking is a useful concept for identifying, supporting, and measuring creativity as a process of actualize oneself. It manipulates internal and external symbols as creation of illustrative ideas based on his or her knowledge, senses regarding people and objects to produce on. So, verbal creativity, derived from the word verbal itself, means talking. It simply means spoken instead of writing. In simple words, it is an ability to think creativity and to measure one's fluency, flexibility, and originality on a verbal form. So, as what we are talking about divergent thinking earlier, divergent thinking has four major components. These are fluency, flexibility, originality, and elaboration, which are very useful for an operational concept. So, when we say fluency, it refers to the total number of ideas, options, and solutions generated for an open-ended problems. Flexibility is the number of conceptualized categories. Originally is the aspect of created or invented works and is about statistically in frequency of response related to the task compared with original ideas. And elaboration is the ability to expand on an idea with details and ability to create an intricate plan. So, according to Fink, he explained that cognitive stimulation through common or moderately creative ideas was effective in improving verbal creativity and, most importantly, stimulation. Effects were also apparent at the level of the brain, as much as widespread creativity-related neutral network includes that left, middle, and superior temporal are along together.